Woodrow Bud Carnes was a quartermaster striker. After the Med cruise, we went into the Portsmouth shipyards for 3 months for overhauls. While we were there, they sent me to the Loran School. I was quartermaster striker, so that was the grandfather of the GPS. You know, it was a big box with all these dials on it. You know, and you had to line up signals, and it was only a week long, but you had to, you know, it was mind-wrecking. So that's what I did, and then I said, well, gee, I'm a big deal here, you know, I'm the only guy on the ship that can operate this thing. But then after we got underway again, anytime the captain or the exec wanted a reading, I just get off a 6-hour watch on the bridge, go hit the rack, and they got me up in a half hour, they need a reading. So I said, no, that wasn't a smart move. But it was a good feeling knowing that I could do that, and it was important, you know. Because some of those readings when we went to Bay of Pigs were my readings, really. And the writing in the log, so you know, I did play a part in that. But after we got out of the yards in Portsmouth, we went to Gitmo, like all ships do, for 6 weeks shakedown. Well, we had to train day and night for that. Same thing for 6 weeks, go out, 6 in the morning, you pull out, you pull back in 6 at night. And then at night you had the quartermasters had to send signals to the carrier. But so you had to learn the Morse code, you had to learn the light, and all the ships are sending to one carrier, so sometimes you had to wait, you know, you couldn't go to hit the rack until you got your message out. So I got to where I could send pretty good, but I had a problem reading. So if they started flashing back at me, I was like, you know. But we got through it. We told the chief, give us some liberty here. We can only go on the base. Because that's back when Castro and all that, you know. And we said, we'll learn the Morse code. We'll talk in Morse code when we go on shore. So he let us go. But every night you could see fires all up in the mountains where the peasants were burning the sugar cane so Castro wouldn't get it. After our 6 weeks, we headed back to Key West. So we pulled in the morning, and I just got on the beach with a couple of pals. Shore Patrol got us by afternoon. We had to go back to Cuba. We didn't really know what we were doing. We had to get underway. They didn't even have orders sealed. They had verbal orders to the captain. That's all they had time for. So they wound up, we were going down the Bay of Pigs. And we got right to the western tip of Cuba, and they got orders to turn around. Because they realized that there was nobody left. You know. Obviously, we were supposed to support that, but President Kennedy backed down. So we were being buzzed by the Cuban planes, yeah. About 3 planes buzzed over. Because I was on the bridge. The captain says, quartermaster, get my camera. It's in my cabin, you know, so I went and get his camera. He's taking pictures. You could see the pilots, they were coming right over. Of course, we were at general quarters, so all the guns were spinning around and following, you know. So they did that a few times, and they were gone. But I always thought that the Cubans were being trained in Florida. They were actually trained in Louisiana, in the swamps. So that was, you learn something all the time, and more stuff comes out, you know. That's one of the best kept secrets yet. You know, we had the the DuPont, the Sherman, Forrest Sherman, and the Henley. 3 ships went down there to get survivors, but there wasn't none, and it was never publicized because that whole thing was supposed to be hush hush. It was called the Bay of Pigs fiasco. So then we got back to Key West, and then we came back to Norfolk. It's kind of a waiting game to get out. A couple of months after that, I got transferred.